I feel like I gave you a cup of coffee in the interrogation room and I sat down and you're like, I killed him.
Yeah.
Now stop me anytime, but are you gonna share it here, or is that's too personal? Right?
Oh, it's just like I don't think it's a good start for the podcast. Really, I did this, but
we also have talked about, not like super specifically, but we've talked about it on the pod.
Yeah.
So it would also be boring to the listeners
Probably,
to hear because
yeah.
they'd be like, we already know all this.
Oh,
yeah.
It's the guy who thought you knew all the flags.
The long and
guy who thought I should know all the flags. I have a bit about it.
Uh-huh.
You know this guy, right?
Yeah. I don't know the guy.
You don't know the guy.
I know the bit.
Mhm.
I've heard the bit.
Yeah. Also got like really mad at me because my friend bought me a pizza necklace, like as a friendship necklace.
A pizza necklace.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, he got really into conspiracy theories.
Yes.
And he was like,
and he thought
he
thought you were a
I was like a Pizzagate supporter because I wore my friend's pizza necklace. Yeah.
From that?
Like
that's crazy.
Serious about it too.
Oh, that's
like
so
serious.
funny.
Yes. And like that's the kind of thing I would laugh at first because it's just it seems like a bit, but it never was.
Wow, that's crazy. That's a crazy person.
And it took me forever to find out that he wasn't doing bits because I think in the beginning he was being normal.
Yeah.
And so we used to do bits like that.
Yeah.
And then over time it became real and I would be like, wait, what?
So it was
these are
like
things we would normally joke about.
Yes. At the early part of a relationship, you do a lot of like, haha, I'm like this, right? Haha, that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then it slowly reveals itself to either be true or
An
something.
actual red flag I thought was just a bit the whole time.
Yeah. So what do you think that the larger picture of his personality is of that he's a big conspiracy theorist? Or specifically, that's like QAnon-y, right?
Yeah.
Pizzagate?
Yeah, that's also like deep conspiracy.
He was getting really deep
stuff.
and I don't know if he always was like that or if it was really just happening in that time.
Yeah.
So what is it that you look out for in new relationships that you're like, oh, it's like that would be like, here's the sign that it's
I haven't generalized at all. It's only if I wear a pizza necklace and they don't like it. Like I didn't learn anything. Anyway, welcome, Peter. We have a special guest today.
Hello.
Peter Wong. Thanks so much for doing the podcast.
Thanks for coming.
I was going to clap.
What's up, buddy? Yeah, clap for yourself. Go ahead. We're all clapping for Peter.
Yay!
Yeah, there he
You
is.
better clap, Connor.
He has a...
I want to hear it on that mic. Yeah.
Connor's clapping. He has a special out on YouTube called... Fuck.
Thank you.
I do
very
this
much.
every time, by the way. I repeat it when I hear it, and then it leaves my mind.
Yeah. Well, it's called Don't Move.
Don't move. Yeah.
And,
Don't move.
Obviously, it doesn't matter.
No, it matters so much. It matters so much that I forgot it. I forgot the name.
Can you reveal at all the meaning behind Don't Move, or is it like one of those things where you got to watch the special because it's part of the bigger picture?
It's just a joke I say, and it like has the words in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. I'm what you would call a pioneer of the industry.
Cool.
I come up with brilliant.
Yeah.
I think their titles are very hard to not be pretentious.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
And so I left it to the very last, like probably literally the day I would put it out.
Oh, really?
I was like, all right, it's just gonna be called this.
Yeah.
And even then, it still feels a little like it's hard not to judge your own like titles.
Yeah.
But you know.
Yeah. Also,
I
like
think it's a
naming
good
a
title.
comedy special, like it's not really. You don't really. No name of a comedy special is going to tell you what the entire special is about.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Unless it's like a one-man show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it like kind of doesn't matter. It just has to be like serviceable and you're fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's, you know.
Yeah. Well, congrats.
There it is. Like, please watch it.
You guys should watch it. Peter's so funny. We met doing terrible open mics at Otto's Shrunken Head.
Yes.
Remember those
that
days?
was,
Oh my God. I
those
remember
were
Otto's Shrunken Head.
3 p.m.
3 p.m. mic.
Oh, God.
They're brutal.
Yeah.
So I want to ask more about the feet stuff because that's on my mind.
Oh, okay. Our feet are on your mind?
No.
You sick fuck.
But specifically that you have them out to game the algorithm.
We don't. Originally, it was because, so the reason we have our feet out, everybody.
What's up?
is-
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You know you have
Let's
a
do some
hole in that
wiggles.
sock, Brittany.
Oh my God.
Massive one.
Oh, no.
Oh my God.
It's
They're
my
getting
slutty
bottom of
sock.
the foot for free.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I'll blur it in
I mean,
post.
okay. If that, see that hole where it's at?
That's a big hole.
What part of the If this were like the rest, if this were my main body and I was wearing slutty clothes, what part of the body would I be revealing?
This would be like...
Wait, I'm not sure what the question is.
Like, you know...
If your foot was a full body.
Yes.
And there was a hole there. Are you asking in the lens of someone who likes feet?
Yeah.
Well, do you know something about me that we haven't talked
you
about?
You asked about our feet when we were trying to talk about you. So
yeah, that's true. We were like, how's your special? And you're like, I can't get my mind off the feet.
Okay.
And so stop acting like we're fucking weird here, okay?
All right.
Well, here's my answer. You want to hear my answer first?
Before you answer, I feel like it's necessary I clarify who I am first, because we're diving into a given all of a sudden that I'm asking because I like your feet, which is not the case. Before the cameras were rolling, you guys talked about having your feet out.
You like the hole in the sock, though.
All right, I want to clarify that first. You guys said you don't wear shoes here and that people like it when you don't.
Yeah.
Okay, so that I'm not completely crazy
Totally.
for just talking about your feet.
Yeah. We get asked to move our feet, to wiggle our feet in comments, but that's not why we do it.
Yeah. We do it just because we're comfortable this way.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, you know, the feet YouTubers... The people who put us on feet playlists are just like an added bonus.
You know? Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this. Now that I've told you that,
Mm-hmm.
I am a foot guy. But that's not to say. But
you walk in and you're like,
Brittany,
I can't concentrate. I didn't know.
Brittany, you should have fucking asked before you had him on.
Why don't you guys get decent before we start this?
We should give out questionnaires, probably.
I know, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But to answer the question about the hole.
Yeah.
In the sock.
So for anyone who can't see, the hole, it's like on the beneath part, right? It's underneath.
It's on the ball of your foot.
Is on the ball of my foot, right under the toes, but the toes aren't showing.
This is crazy. This is crazy right now. This is crazy.
This sounds like, have you ever put on...
This is almost deliberate foot porn. What you're doing. This is this close.
Have you ever put on, you know how there's like subtitles for TV shows?
Yeah.
Have you ever put on the like screen to text of like a TV show where it's like for deaf people watching TV?
Yeah.
So it'll be like people will be talking and they'll be like, a woman enters the room. It sounds like you're doing that for your feet.
Yeah, you're describing for the vision
blind,
impaired.
Yeah, the visually impaired.
What's going on?
People.
Yeah. Lest they be left out.
Yeah.
So I want to clear up that
No, keep going,
I feel
dude.
nothing for this.
Okay,
for your feet.
Good.
All right, that's one. Two.
I can't believe we accidentally backed you into a corner.
I know.
On this in the first 10 minutes of this pod.
Normally, this stuff happens in the last 15, and it's like, oh, no one's listening.
I will say, as far as holes in socks go, in the realm of what I like when it comes to foot stuff, I don't like that.
Oh, okay.
I find that
holes in socks.
but I know that the foot world has two sides.
Really?
A sock on side and a sock off.
Oh, but there's nothing about holes in socks. No one's like, I like holes.
If there is, I don't know anything.
I'm sure there's
that.
guys like that out there. There's guys into weird stuff.
Probably.
If you can think of it.
I would call this area the thigh of the foot.
That's what I was going to say.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I was going to say? I was going to say,
back.
you know those pants that were like really big in the maybe mid 2000s?
Yeah.
Where people would be wearing like baggy jeans and they would slice right below their butt cheeks?
Yes.
That's what that is.
That's what it is.
For feet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
Oh, well, I guess that's a good part of the foot, I guess.
You know, I wear my holy socks in my shoes. It's just for me.
Yeah.
It's like when people wear lingerie, but they don't use it.
Yeah. You have your holes on your socks and you're like, I'm a dirty little
I'm wearing
girl.
a holy sock at work.
Nobody knows I have holes under here.
So, I'm sorry that we went here.
I'm sorry we stumbled upon this.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Anyway, we met doing terrible open mics at Auto Shrinking Head. Remember Jimmy Peoples?
Yes,
Man.
I do.
I think he still
He's
does
so
stuff
funny.
at the comedy shop.
Does he?
Mm-hmm.
He used to make us do, there'd be burpee challenges. Remember this?
Wait, at an open mic?
Yeah.
Yes. So basically, the rule was, if someone's heading towards the mic, when it's their turn, someone in the audience or the other comics could yell challenge. And if they yell challenge, then the two have to compete. Whoever does 10 burpees first gets to do the
They
time.
get their spot.
They get that spot.
Whoa.
So I've seen the challenge happen probably 3 times.
Mhm.
That's so funny.
One of the times they go, no, it's not happening. And then they just stay.
Oh yeah.
So that's one way about it. Just
Yeah.
be confident. The other
It's
two,
just be confident.
the other 2 times they competed, and then both times they challenged the most obese person in the room,
Oh.
which is mean but really brilliant.
But very strategic.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
called it brilliant. Mean but ingenious.
Yeah.
All right, brilliant's a strong word, but it's not dumb.
No, totally. I was
Mean
thinking,
but out of this world.
And both times the challenger won,
Yeah.
but the set was destroyed because they were huffing and puffing the
Yeah.
whole
oh
way.
yeah, you should be able
Yeah.
to have like 30 seconds to catch your breath,
And it's
especially if it's
hard
like a
to-
3-minute mic. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? That takes up so much time.
It was
also-
a 7-minute mic.
It's hard to
Oh.
match the adrenaline of the challenge.
Totally.
You
Yeah.
know? It's like someone going up and like playing rock or something.
I guess that's like
That's where I
playing-
get my adrenaline.
Are
Oh my
you
God.
40?
Brittany sounds like somebody's
50
father.
years
She's
old.
like playing some rock
Play
and
me
roll.
some Leonard Skinner, and my heartbeat's going up. But yeah, those mics were wild. And then sometimes he'd do a podcast right before the mic,
Yeah.
but he wouldn't really plan who was on. He would just have people on stage, like, and it'd just be whoever showed up to the mic early. He'd be like, Brittany, come on in. Come
Yeah.
do the podcast.
No.
And it would behoove you to do the mic because then you would get to go up first
Yeah.
and for free.
Mhm.
So I would show
gotcha.
up for the podcast every single time.
How many times were you on?
But literally like 30 to 40 times.
Whoa. Have you ever listened back to any of these?
Yeah, because like so I would be like, I was pretty funny that day. I'll watch it back like an idiot.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So,
You know, I just realized we didn't do the intro.
Yeah, we didn't.
Welcome to Worthless Clowns.
Yeah,
It's
you
a
just said,
podcast
"Here's
about-
Peter Wong."
I know. I'm all over the place today. It's a podcast about how stupid we are. I'm Brittany Cardwell, Britannis Cardwell on Instagram.
I'm Ali O'Neill. You can follow me on Instagram at It's Ali O'Neill.
I'm Peter Wong. Did you finish?
Yeah, I'm all set. Go ahead. Go ahead, buddy.
It looked
You're
like
doing
I
great.
interrupted you.
No.
The way that felt was like we're doing jump rope. And you
Yeah, you did like step on my
You
line a
jumped
little
in.
bit, honestly.
I
no,
did
but
want
I
to.
felt like he got in right at the right moment.
No,
Oh, okay.
Right when the rope was
I was
there.
a hair early.
Yeah,
We
I
can
think
agree
you
on
were
that.
a little bit
I was
early.
rushing.
But I'll let it go.
You could. I could tell from for 2 reasons. Just because you could feel
Yeah.
the rhythm was off, and the look she gave. Because I
I'm
said,
so sorry. I was like,
yeah, you did what you went like a subtle like.
well,
The way I felt, I was like, you got in there. You got in there.
good job, buddy.
But
Because I could feel that he was worried about when to do it.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my name is Peter Wong, and my Instagram is Peter Wong Comedy.
Hell yeah.
There
we go.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Of
Yeah,
course.
thanks
Thanks
for
for
doing
coming
it.
on.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
we just bullied you for the first 20 minutes
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
We don't usually do this. People usually leave feeling good about this podcast, but I can't guarantee it.
Well, I've never had the stuff about like the fact that I like feet like fished out of me in that manner.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I didn't mean to fish.
I don't even think, you know what? I think fishing is a generous term
Yeah.
because we were like,
You know-
we were like, you like it, you sick fuck. And you're
Yeah.
like, whoa, I don't love it. I like it a little bit, but not
these.
this.
So what would you say what term would you use for how you got that information out of me?
It sounded
I
like you
think it
just
was-
said it.
I feel like we had genuine curiosity and the topic was on the table. And then, yeah, you just revealed what was true.
Yeah.
It
Looking
was
back,
easy. It was really easy.
Yeah, it was really easy. This
Yeah.
is the easiest interrogation ever. I feel
I
like I
did-
gave you a cup of coffee in the interrogation room and I sat down and you're like,
I-
I killed him. That's what it felt like.
yeah, I lost. Yeah, the heat was on right
Yeah.
away. Yeah, that's true. You did ask, right?
Yeah. Well, I think it came up. We'll find out in editing.
Okay.
Play it
We'll
back,
listen
play back the
and
tapes.
we'll detail it. We'll write notes and we'll send it to you about how
Mhm.
it happened.
Yeah. We'll do like
Write a little
post
report.
game. Yeah.
Yeah. We write reports on every guest.
Yes.
Like this guy is like this.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Where
Sorry.
does that rank in how do you feel about a guy who likes feet?
You know,
This is getting worse and worse the more we talk about
are
it.
you fishing us now?
Yeah, I gotta hear that. If your boyfriend was into that, is that a good or a bad or a neutral?
I think it's
Be honest.
I mean, I think it depends on how much feet stuff I have to do. Like how much I'm okay with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with I'm okay with a guy thinking my feet are attractive who I like.
All right, what if he wants you to like jerk him off with your feet?
I don't know. It's a lot of practice for me. You know?
Okay.
You
What
said
about-
out of practice?
It's a lot of practice
Oh, it's
for
a
me.
lot of
I
practice.
know, it's like a bunch of
yeah.
muscles you never use really.
Yeah, my feet cramp easily too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah,
I'm kind of neutral on it. It depends on
So
like if it's
neutral.
someone I love, then yeah, I don't care. But
Yeah,
if it's a
There's
lot of
worse things
extra
out
work,
there.
then it might be hard.
yeah.
totally. Yeah. No, definitely. That makes
Yeah.
sense. I think it's neutral for me as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't really care
Okay.
either way.
Okay.
No.
Good. All right. Let's move on. Let's go on. I guess I know. I opened this door again.
I know, you keep
and I'm
bringing it
trying
up.
to. I'm trying to shut it at the same time for some
Yeah, I
reason.
know.
I'm
And then you
like,
keep talking about it.
all right.
You're like, I
Man,
can't believe
it's-
you fished this out of me. Anyway,
It's
how
really
would you
becoming
guys
a foot
feel?
pod. It never has been.
Now,
I know,
I know
yeah.
it's considered weird, right? And
It's-
so
I don't think it's
I don't think
considered
it's
that weird. I
considered-
think it's like,
yeah.
everybody's like eating ass now. You can like feed. It's fine.
yeah, but that's more on the table, more accepted than feet. Like just throwing it out, you know. I bet there's more
Interesting.
people who
That's
have
probably true. Yeah.
eaten ass than sucked on some toes.
Interesting.
And,
Yep.
and on the receiving end, the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. But I don't know. I think it's like generally harmless in terms of
Mhm.
like sexual stuff goes. Cause I don't know. A lot of people
Mhm.
have like weird, they're like, can you act like a baby? And it's like, that's just
Yeah.
like bad. So it's like, if
Yeah.
you bring somebody's feet into it, it's like, oh, who are
Yeah.
you hurting? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because your version is like act like you don't have your frontal cortex developed.
Yeah,
Which is like a
totally.
very specific
Yeah.
dynamic
Yeah.
that you like.
Exactly.
Feet, yeah, it's like kind of neutral
Yes.
in that.
Is
way.
that alcoholic or non-alcoholic?
It's alcoholic.
Oh, wait. When you asked what kind of drink I wanted, you put it's non-alcoholic. You
Oh,
said
I meant for the
parentheses-
seltzers.
Oh, would
Yeah.
I like a beer,
Yeah, beer. Sorry.
alcoholic or a non-alcoholic?
You know,
I'm
I
sorry.
thought about that as I was reading it, and I was going to further explain. But then I
Yeah.
was like, Brittany, you don't need to re-explain everything. And I held myself back because I think I do that too much sometimes.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, oh, I wish I did.
Oh.
Did you want a beer?
We don't have any, by
We
the
don't have
way,
any.
to give you. So it doesn't
All right.
matter. But you can tell us.
A beer would have been nice.
Oh, all right.
Man, I'm sorry. I would have
Man.
gotten you a beer.
I should have re-specified.
But I'm cutting it. I'm trying to lay off of it for the week. So this is good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this
good,
works
good,
out.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we get into your stupid
Yeah.
story?
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Okay.
It's
You
about
don't.
feet.
You don't have to, Peter. It is just kind of what the pod is, but
I guess I was thinking I have one, you know. Which I guess I do things that sometimes I like in a rush to do things like wrong and stuff, and then that
Oh,
like
yeah.
messes something up.
Mhm.
But I had like a concert. I had tickets to a concert, brand new. You know, brand
Oh,
new.
I know brand
Like
new.
one of my favorite
You know
bands.
them?
I do know them.
Yeah.
They're a little like. I feel like I was into like pop punk and shit, like, and they came later, and so I never really got
Mm.
into them.
Yeah,
Like they were a little like, wait, how old are you?
33.
Okay, then I don't know why this.
But they were around the
makes
same
sense.
time as like the used and stuff. And you know that.
But you're right. They came.
Yeah, they came a little later.
They
I think
came-
I was out of my pop punk phase when they got really big, so I never
Oh.
really listened to them.
Yeah. Well, I thought they came before my time. Actually,
Really?
Man,
Oh,
I
maybe
don't know.
maybe I was just blind to them. But anyway,
I don't know the timeline,
Yeah.
but I love them,
sick.
and I had I had bought tickets to see them, and I
When
bought.
was this?
This was 2015
Okay.
August,
Mhm.
and I had bought a ticket for myself, and then 2 tickets to resell to make up for whatever the cost
Yeah.
of all that would be. And So I put the thing up on Craigslist. Hey, I have these tickets up for this. And the guy's like, oh, dude, really? Because they were sold out immediately. And I was like, yeah, man, And he's like, oh, I've been dying to see them like forever. It's me and my friend. I would love to go see them. And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. Yeah. And it was like, it's like hours away. It was in Cooperstown. And shit. It was like a while to get there and everything. And then I got to the festival or the concert, and I met up with the guy, and the guy's all amped up. It's like, dude, thanks so much, man.
Yeah.
It's like impossible.
You mean like amped up?
He's like amped. Why? Yeah, amped
like
up.
Drugs.
Oh, no, not like drugs.
Oh, just regular emotion.
He was
regular
just
happiness.
excited in a regular way.
Right. I was excited.
Not drugged up.
I was amped up.
I immediately thought of someone on meth.
Yeah.
Like buying tickets.
Amped. Yeah.
So amped, yeah.
Oh, dude, thank you so much. I took about this microwave if you want it.
Yeah, if he was on drugs, I didn't know.
Oh, okay.
He seemed excited for sober, but not not crazy for drugged, I guess. Mm-hmm. But he was very excited, and then I was like, here it is, and the price, and he sent me the money, and then I looked at like my tickets that I bought, and I only bought one ticket for me, and I didn't buy any more.
Oh. So you made the guy drive out hours?
Yeah. And I'm standing there. I'm like, and you know how like,
and he has friends. You can't just give him yours.
Right.
It doesn't really work.
And you know how like you, when you kind of are searching for something, like you don't think you've fucked up yet.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it must be like a different email.
Yeah.
I'm looking at everything. And then I go like, well, I'll just sign into the Ticketmaster and everything. Yeah. And I sign in and it's just a one and nothing else.
Oh no.
And I must have
Is he starting to notice at this point too? Is he
I'm taking a while and I'm starting to be like, oh, hold on. I'm looking. And it is like starting to drag into silence and tension. And then and then there comes a part where I realize it, and I'm stalling to like think of something to say, and eventually you just gotta say it, and I just go, hey dude, I made a mistake. I don't have your tickets, and he's like, oh really? And I'm like, yeah, I thought I bought them, but I didn't.
Oh,
Who cares? He doesn't care about what.
No. It's also the worst excuse.
Yeah,
yes.
You know what I mean? It could have been like you were like. It could have been something like, oh my God, I used the wrong email and they sent to the wrong email or something. And then it like would have been upsetting, but it would like understandable. You're like, I just thought I bought them, but I didn't.
Imagined buying them and I didn't
buy
do
them.
It.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
it sounds fake.
It sounds... It's stupid. It's so dumb.
It sounds like you just wanted to meet him.
Yeah.
This is what I say. You meet him outside of a concert.
Yeah.
That he can't go into.
And you're like, God, I guess I didn't buy those tickets. Do you guys want to go get dinner? Do you want to like hang out?
You want to go talk about our childhoods and stuff? And get to know each other?
Actually,
we drove 2 hours. We might as well get something out of it.
I have a softball game that I need a couple of people for. Do you want to go play?
I guess it was this weird thing where he's like, he can't even like, he's like nice. He's like a nice guy. Yeah. So he's like, oh yeah, that sucks, huh? And he's just standing there.
He's saying it like it sucks for you.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I mean, it was
sorry.
awkward for both of us. It was really tough.
Yeah.
Really tough.
Yeah.
But we're standing at where the tickets, where they hand out the physical. It's like will call, but in a canopy. Yeah. Because it's an outdoor venue. And then the guy who's doing the will call, like, hears all this.
Yeah.
And he goes, you guys missing tickets? And he's like, yeah, we're supposed to get two, but we didn't get them. And then the guy working the canopy goes, someone's gonna not show up. And then he takes two tickets out and just hands it to him. And just bails.
No money?
No money.
Oh, that's so nice.
Bails me out completely.
Wow.
All like straight up.
Oh.
And I thought, like, should I keep the money? And I was like, that'd be the
You were
wrong.
like hoping that he forgot that he paid you
Yeah.
by that point.
But I would thought I'd give it back. So, and then I even like declared it like a gesture. I was like, you know what? For that, I'm gonna send you your money back.
You're welcome. I didn't have to.
And he goes, you know what? You're really good for doing that.
You guys are like ridiculous together.
Yeah.
He does just feel bad that
Yeah.
this happened, but you did it.
Yes, exactly.
And then he's like just grateful that you did the thing that you should do.
Yeah, I know.
It's two very non-confrontational people
Yeah.
dealing with a terrible conflict, I guess.
Man, you're such a good guy for giving me back the money for the thing that I was going to buy from you that you didn't have, that I got somewhere else. Thanks so much, dude.
That you made me come here for.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And the solution had nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, that was what a whole lucky thing. Because
That's
Jesus.
so crazy.
Because I felt so bad for the dude.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you guys hang out like during the show?
No, so basically the 2 tickets I thought I had bought for him would have been for the first day. So he had first day, I had second day. So my ticket wouldn't have done anything for him.
Oh, gotcha.
And so yeah.
So even if you had bought it, he couldn't have gone that day.
No, I was planning. My intention was to buy 2 extra tickets for the first day.
Oh, okay.
You know, I don't know why the behind all that, but I did. Whatever it was, I screwed up royally, terribly. And I do that sometimes. I a lot of times have something like where I think, oh, this is a great idea, and then I'll forget like the key part of that idea.
Yeah.
Is it because you thought so much about it and were like, yeah, it would work like this. Oh, I'll make this much back. It like felt like you did it, kind of. Maybe.
I think I'm better at it now, but this is way before comedy, all that stuff. Way before like I was like even an adult, really.
Yeah.
And so I got stressed like easily.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And like the thought of like just buying 1 ticket for myself was like an ordeal. Just remember that. And then I may have probably went through the checkout process and thought, oh yeah, I should do it. Should I? Will it resell? And then maybe that just entered my brain as like, oh, I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I went ahead and listed everything and stuff. And
it's also just such a weird, like on that guy's, from his perspective, it's like if you had purposely done that, it's such a weird prank. Like to just get someone to drive
To
out
do it
to a concert.
And for me to stand there and see it.
Yeah.
And be like, I don't have them. I didn't
you have
get
no
'em.
joy as you're doing it even.
Yeah.
You didn't get anything out
He
of
just
it.
looks so
He's like,
uncomfortable.
this is just a really badly thought out prank.
Yeah. Gotcha. Sorry.
Yeah.
Man, that's so funny.
Yeah. Yeah. I was very embarrassed about it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Man, it sounds like he was so nice though. About
I know, yeah. Thank God
Could
he
have been
wasn't a
someone
guy.
screaming.
Or some guy like threatening to beat you up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that could have very
to, like,
easily have happened.
Ask you for money and like, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
threaten you for it and stuff.
Which I would have probably give like,
Mhm.
you know, I felt really, I was very easily guilted at the time too.
Yeah.
I was in the wrong anyways, you know, so that's like compound that. And I was also very afraid of trouble. Like I was very afraid of getting in trouble. And that felt like those times
Yeah.
that I got in trouble in school for
Oh,
like,
yeah.
doing something.
Just for being forgetful, kind of.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I get like during that time, stress has really stressed me out. And
Yeah.
I would like screw things up a lot, you know?
Yeah.
Like one time I was selling stuff on eBay too.
Uh-huh.
I started like, I bought like these, I would buy these sneakers and then resell them.
Yeah.
And then
Sorry, Brittany just
Sorry.
took headphones
Ibuprofen
and
just fell out.
has to get out of her pocket and then a pill fell out.
yeah, that was a big,
It made a
that was
big
very
sound.
distracting.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Very distracting to me. Anyway, you would buy shoes on eBay and resell them.
I would buy shoes on eBay and resell them. And I was also reselling, trying to remember what it was. I think it was like I think an iPod or something. I had like these iPods that I would buy and resell, right? And one time I had 2 purchases come in the same day, one for sneakers and one for an iPod, and it was the sneakers was going to China. It was like going way overseas.
Yeah.
And then out of the stress, I switched the stuff.
Oh no.
And I like forgot what told me, what made me know that I screwed up. Maybe I think it was like when I dropped the second package in, I'm like, these are way too big to be
an
iPod.
And I dropped it and then thought it. So I sent both things out and then went, oh, I screwed up
so the package
so bad.
Sizes, it wasn't even just a difference in weight, it was a difference in size.
Difference in size.
Oh man. So you brought the iPod, a tiny package, being like, shoes.
This must be shoes.
No. I was like, well, I flipped who got what. I thought this guy is getting this and this guy is getting that.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah.
And then after that, it's like a whole process. You got to contact USPS or whatever and tell them, hey, cancel this and don't let it go, please. And then they charge you a bunch of money. But you can ignore that. And then and that goes away.
You mean
really?
You can just not pay it and it's fine?
Yeah, because they because they don't have a form of payment after, like you pay for the postage ahead of time.
Yeah.
And then they don't have a form of payment. And so they're like, for something was like, okay, because we canceled it and sent it back, you owe like $100 something.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, I wonder if I ignore this, if they can come after me for it.
Yeah, the postman is gonna show up to your house.
Yeah.
And then like
With a
grab you by your
baseball.
ankles and shake all the
Yeah.
lunch money out of you.
Yeah,
Like what's
yeah.
gonna happen? The USPS police. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I sure, that happened. Yep. And that's that.
Yeah. I think I do a lot of stuff like that too.
Me too. I'm
Yeah.
always like mixing up crazy shit. I'm always like sending the wrong emails to people at work and then sending them like working with like a local radio station in like Dallas. And then I'll send them something that doesn't make any sense, like some radio station in like Florida's shit. And they're like, we didn't ask for this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're not K-Frog. Okay. Obviously I sent the wrong link, you know?
I like that you have this aggressive banter. With
Yeah, I do.
your
I
mistake.
yell at them. And I'm like, you fucking idiot. Here's your link.
Yeah.
Here's your Google Drive link.
You're the one that made the mistake. You're
Yeah.
like, of course it's not
And I'm like,
you.
obviously it's not for you, fucking asshole.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of, we've already talked about on the pod, so I'll just tell it real briefly, but it's the Comedy Central portfolio thing.
Oh my God.
It's like
The what
so,
portfolio?
So
Oh,
embarrassing.
man.
I'll tell you. So remember when everyone was like applying for Comedy Central digital creators like a few years ago? It was like everyone was doing it.
Yeah.
And it's just to have that job to like make clips on Instagram.
Sure.
Which now everyone does. So I don't think they even need. I don't know if they're doing this anymore. But I was like, oh, I'll apply. And I got so stressed about it.
Yeah.
And I worked too hard on like writing like why I think it would be a good program for me and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That I didn't think about it when I put all the files together. It said like you need a cover letter and a portfolio.
Uh-huh.
But I like somehow understood it as headshot instead. So I didn't send them any examples of my work. It's just a picture of me. There's nothing in it.
Did you follow up?
No.
You're like, hey, so
I don't even
waiting to
know
hear
when
back.
I realized it. I don't know how I figured it out. But at one point I was like, oh no.
And you're like, this is why I should work for Comedy Central. And then they turn the page
it's a
and
big
you're
smile.
It's so embarrassing. And like we, because we work in New York and we know people at Comedy
like, we
Central.
know so many people at
Like,
Comedy Central.
There's probably a couple people I interact with from time to time who saw that. Because I heard that it was like current writers and comics who we do know,
oh no.
who like evaluated submissions.
Wow. Yeah.
God.
After I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a candle. All right, should we get into our little post?
Let's get into our posty.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're going to read a post from someone on...
From an internet user.
That's
As,
Okay.
Brittany
What's the
Colson.
context for these posts?
So it's an Am I the Asshole post from Reddit.
Oh, okay.
And so we find posts where we think that people are being stupid in them and we read them and make fun of them.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like embarrassing stuff.
Am I the asshole?
Am I the
Yes.
asshole? Yeah.
Okay.
You know this subreddit?
I'm familiar. Yeah, I've visited quite a bit.
All right. So, am I the asshole for correcting my daughter's camp counselor? I, 35 male, have a daughter, 7 female, who's recently been attending an animal-themed summer camp during the day.
Which sounds awesome,
I know.
by the way.
So
An
wait,
animal-themed
it's
summer camp?
happening
Yeah.
very fast. Okay, so he's a 35 male with a 7-year-old daughter,
Yeah.
and he's attending an adult-themed summer camp.
No, his
the
daughter.
daughter.
His daughter is
Yeah.
attending an adult-themed summer
An
camp.
animal themed.
Okay, sorry, there's so much. Okay,
This is going to
That
take
was the first
forever to get
sentence.
through.
animal-themed summer camp. Okay,
Yes.
which is a summer camp about animals.
I guess
Yeah.
so.
Okay,
That's what I would
In
guess.
the post, it says animal themed and then in parentheses question mark.
Yeah.
okay.
He's like animal
I guess
themed.
he's just picking that up
Yeah.
from what
So
she
we're
comes
getting-
home with. She's like, I don't know, talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
dolphins and stuff.
Yeah.
So we're getting into it.
We're getting into it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Second sentence.
Sorry,
Ready?
this is my first day on Earth.
I know.
She's obsessed with animals. Got it?
Okay,
She
So-
really likes them. That means
She likes
thank
them
you.
a lot.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. I don't need this.
So
I
honestly,
don't
We're
need
gonna
this
keep doing it.
condescension.
honestly is associated with truth. Okay, I won't do it anymore, I promise. She's obsessed with animals, so honestly, it seemed like a great fit.
Uh-huh.
I usually drop her off in the morning and I pick her up in the afternoon, so I'm familiar with her camp counselor group leader. The group leader seemed like a chill guy, and my kid seems to like him, though today when I picked her up, he asked if I could pull us aside to chat.
Okay.
When I asked, what is this about? He said, my daughter was very disrespectful to him today and that he couldn't have her attitude again.
Mm.
When I asked him what happened, he said they were discussing sea creatures and he referred to an octopus as a fish, which
Mhm.
my daughter corrected him as mollusk. Mollusk.
Mollusk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He tried to tell her she was wrong, but she politely corrected him again. This is his words. I told him that if she just corrected him politely, then I didn't really understand the problem, but that I would speak to her. He explained that the octopus was a fish and that my daughter shouldn't be spreading information she doesn't understand.
What the
Mhm.
fuck?
He's like, you're spreading misinformation at the
Yeah.
animal camp.
Yeah. She's like, it's a mollusk. And he's like, fake news.
She's undermining society.
Yeah. There has to be a universal truth in order to run a civilization.
I told him my daughter is correct and an octopus is a mollusk. I even pulled up a bunch of links from Google to show him.
Oh my god.
I love this.
Yeah.
It's obviously like they're related. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the kid and the dad, she was like a
Yeah.
mollusk. And then he's like, actually Google says that it's a mollusk. Like you can tell where he gets it
You can
from.
kind of draw the thread to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
band
yeah.
with that.
I even pulled up a bunch of Google links. His response was to get angry and tell me that he sees where my daughter gets the attitude. Hey, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't call it attitude. I would just call
It's
it
just,
being right.
Yeah.
Caring about he wants to sit around and just be wrong all day. Is that
Yeah.
what he fucking wants? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
And also, I would care if I found out he was teaching the kids wrong stuff. He's supposed to be like,
Yeah,
You know,
also it's an
supposed
animal
to be like a
themed-
learning camp.
Yeah, it's like
Mhm.
an educational camp, and this
Yeah.
asshole doesn't know that an octopus is a mollusk.
Yeah. I explained that correcting someone isn't usurping authority. Being corrected is sometimes just a learning experience. He's like telling him this like he's a child.
If he said those words verbatim,
I think
he's
so.
getting into the territory.
Yeah. He's like, it's okay, buddy. Sometimes it's just a learning experience
Yeah.
to
It's
be
not.
wrong.
It's not criticism.
Yeah.
It's constructive feedback. One that I've experienced often, and I wasn't going to reprimand my daughter for trying to politely correct him. He told me that I didn't understand how difficult his job was. And sometimes he just needed parent support. This guy is like overwhelmed by these kids, and
Yeah.
he can't take any more.
You also
He
know.
can't take just being told that it's a mollusk.
Also, if he's a camp counselor, he's probably some 17-year-old.
No, he's like 30.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's 30.
He's like having an emotional moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he just,
God.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I need you to be on my side, buddy.
I think he
Octopus or
probably
fish.
feels like he's stupid a lot, and then when a kid corrects him, he has to stand his ground.
He has
'cause
like a
otherwise
complex
he'll
about
feel
it.
stupid.
Yeah, it's a very sad.
It is sad.
I'm not sad about it. I think this guy's a fucking idiot. He works at an animal camp and he doesn't know that an octopus is a mollusk. That's insane.
Well, I didn't know that.
That's his negative self-talk right there.
I didn't know it was a mollusk either. Isn't a mollusk? Mollusk is like clam is a mollusk.
Yeah, and like crabs and shit. They're like related.
Crab is a mollusk?
Yeah.
I didn't know crab was a mollusk either.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
The thing is, though,
crab is a fish.
I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have thought an octopus was a fish, though. So if someone corrected me, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, you're probably right."
Totally.
You know?
Yeah. In general, don't fishes have the word fish in the name?
All fish?
Most, if not
they?
all.
Bass.
Huh?
Bass.
Okay. That's
Do
a
you
mollusk.
think bass is just a nickname for bass fish?
All right, yeah. Let's take that one off the board.
That's like thinking like, well,
a flounder.
Well,
fish.
Yeah,
Flounder fish.
I'm thinking of a lot of fishes now that don't have fish in their name.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of them.
Well, tuna fish, right?
True.
Totally.
So people also say
now
tuna.
I'm right.
You're like, well, that's like saying like, aren't all drinks you say, it's like saying coffee drink, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Marker pen.
Marker pen.
But it is true
Bed
that
furniture.
But there's a lot of fish with the last name Fish.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying.
You're right. There are.
Yeah.
Big time. You're right, buddy.
All right, I see how this. I'm getting this.
You got
You're
the
onto
first
something.
sentence, and now you got this fish thing figured out.
I'll say so far, it seems like. So I've been on that subreddit a lot, and there's kind of categories of the types of posts you get. There's one category is where they're so clearly not that the person posting it already knows they're not, and it's almost like a man, like just a way to show. It's just they see, look how right I was.
It's not even them asking, "Am I the asshole?" They're like, "I'm not the asshole, right?"
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like here's a story. And this asshole thing is barely even like he knew that objectively that's viewed as him not the asshole.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so people who post stuff like that, they're kind of assholes in a certain way.
Because when they write that shit, you feel like they're gonna like take it and then bring it to the person who thinks they're an asshole and be like, see?
Yeah.
The internet thought I wasn't an asshole because I described it very specifically.
It's described it from my side.
Yeah.
My side only.
Most of those ones I feel like are from the husband or the boyfriend.
Totally.
It's always like, my wife, I don't like the way she looks.
And I just said, you're getting fat.
Yeah.
Even though she is objectively.
And logically speaking. They always are like, the logic of it though.
Yeah.
Plus I spoke well about it.
Yeah. I was calm and logical in my argument.
I've seen that so many times.
Yeah, we love those like posts.
I've seen a lot of those too.
Yeah.
Is there any way to communicate in a world, is there any non-asshole way to communicate that your partner is getting fat?
I don't know.
Yeah, you're asking the wrong people. I'm just an asshole all the time, but I don't know.
Your boyfriend's getting a little chunky, you don't say it, right? You just let that happen.
I guess if it gets to a point where you're like concerned
about health,
like I think that there's
ways to
you don't
say
have
it.
to
Probably
talk about them getting fat, right?
Yeah,
you can be like, I don't know, you seem a little depressed. Maybe like exercise will help. You know what I mean? Like there's ways to go around it without like.
And you seem a little depressed. You said. You seem a little depressed.
Like maybe they are depressed and that's why they're eating so much. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Just
so
theoretically.
that's specifically if they are depressed.
Yeah,
then you say
but
that.
I'm saying
very indirect though.
They can't only get.
So you, instead of addressing the weight, you attack their mental health.
Yeah. You're like, listen.
You seem a little unstable.
Yeah. you're just a bummer to be around. Maybe you should work out.
Sure. Okay. All right.
Or something like that. I don't know. I feel like there's a way to talk about it where you don't like just say like tell them they're getting fat.
I don't think it's helpful.
Yeah. It's not helpful. It's just gonna make them feel bad.
They already know.
They always already know.
Yeah.
So it's never necessary to say.
I don't think so. But I mean, I've never had to do this, but if there was a point at which I was like, your health is really concerning me, I'd really need to talk to them about it.
Yeah.
But I don't know how I would do it.
Well, pretend I am, pretend Ali. Pretend.
Oh, you're like doing couples therapy with us?
Yeah.
We need to do this on the pod. We're going to get a couples therapist and, I don't know, talk about Rat Kings or whatever we do.
Everything's fine, by the way.
Yeah.
I want to see like, Ali is in this world person and you're worried about her health.
I'm like big and fat.
Yeah.
I'm big and fat.
But you gotta.
I can't look at you. I can't do this. I can't.
How would you address it as fragilely as possible?
I can't do this right now, really. I don't know.
You just can't. You don't even know how to start.
Honestly, here's what I would do. This is what I do when I have to have conversations with people.
Yeah.
I wait 4 months. And then I write a bunch of notes about what I think, because I don't know what I think yet.
Yes. It takes
so I have to
time.
write a lot. And then I talk to some friends. And I go, what should I? And then eventually, and my therapist. And my therapist hears about it 50 times. And he gets paid to rehear that. And then I'm like, okay, here's what I'm going to say. And then I send it to Ali. And she looks at it. And I'm like, oh, what about this part? I'll change this part. And I change 3 words.
Yeah.
And I send it back to her. And then I send a text message.
So that's how you deal. So you deal with conflict that way. Is a lot
I'm
of
working on it.
drafts.
But yeah, it takes me a long time because I think the biggest part is I can't tell how I feel all the time.
Yeah,
in the moment. Yeah. So I take a lot of time to like think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get this argument in my head where I'm like, well, do you really have a reason to feel like that? And then it's like I'm like arguing, I'm logicking myself out of it.
Totally.
Because I'm like, well, you shouldn't feel like that because.
Yeah.
And then it comes up enough where I'm like, well, you do care about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, oh, this is why you feel like this.
Mm-hmm.
But it takes forever. You're the same?
Yes. Yeah. I was talking with my girlfriend, who you know. That was a weird way I phrased that. It felt weird. Everything feels weird.
I know the way that you said girlfriend sounds like she's made up. But Brittany's met her, so she's very
he texted
real.
me before.
And
he
then
was
she's
like, I'm going to bring her
corroborating.
up. Just say you know her.
Yeah, I don't know how to talk at all. But you had the car broke down or something like that, and you mentioned that day.
Yeah, we had just been talking about that.
Yes,
How we like differ in how we figure out our emotions. When something's happening.
And you kind of just don't let it doesn't come out in a big way. It's a couple of days kind of simmer and kind of sift through and stuff like that. And that's pretty much how I am. I don't even really process, like, it's positive emotions I'm better at, but negative emotions, they like in times of emergencies, it doesn't even really hit me. Like any kind of emergency situation like that, car breaking down, or like one time my brakes went out on middle of the highway. Yeah. And like, calmly get to the side and whatever.
That's honestly like kind of a good skill.
I think it can be good, but it's like
It's
too
good
easy
for
that.
It's too easy to not have to think about it later, I feel like, because it's like you're just like letting the stress thing happen.
Well, it's good for keeping calm during emergency
situations. Totally.
But it's so bad for
interpersonal relationships.
Yes. Yeah. It's
you
hard.
didn't have to say it that fast and excited.
It's like later you're like, oh no, now there's a bunch of stuff I noticed that bothers me.
Yeah. And you already told them, oh, everything's fine.
Yes.
Totally,
right? And it's unfair to be like, actually, here's a bunch of stuff retrospectively.
Yeah.
It sounds like to them.
So then your partner always has to be.
That have been bothering me the whole time. But I didn't know until now, really. But it sounds like it's been.
Yes.
Forever.
I know. And then there's never like a good time to bring it up.
No.
Because you're like, the only time you can bring it up is like when you're already having fun.
Yeah.
And then you're going to ruin it. Or you can bring it up while you're in a fight, and then you make the fight about a different thing.
Yeah.
So you're like, and you also do this.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's tough.
You want to see my list?
Yeah.
You want to see all my draft text messages?
Do you want to see?
you?
You want to see all my texts to Ali where I changed the wording a little bit?
Yeah. It's hard. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's the thing I'm working on, and I think I'm getting better, but I don't know. It's still, I feel like it also varies with people. I feel like I've gotten better at doing it with friends, like more quickly. But then in a relationship, I think because it feels like the stakes are higher.
Yeah.
Not that I wouldn't want to lose a friend, but it feels different, like the way that you lose a friend.
Yes, totally.
Something,
it takes like a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. We should talk about this.
That's why we brought you here. We've been mad at you this entire time.
Yeah, let's get it out. Put it on the table. Was the foot stuff? That was too much.
It's the foot thing.
No, I'm working on it too. It's something that's on my mind because I used to be very unconfrontational and kind of nonplussed about a lot of these things. They bother me, then I let it just fester and then just whatever. I wait for it to go away. But now it's the older you get, the more that's not a life you can't really live.
Yeah.
So
if you let it fester, then you're like, you become one of those people who's like, no, it's a fish.
Yeah.
It's a fish. You're just exploding at this little girl. She's 7. You're like, sorry, it's about my relationship. I can't talk. I don't know how to talk. I don't know how to feel immediately.
Yeah.